Hello, my dear students. This is Mrs. Shaima Gharib, and today's lesson about changing shaded parts into percentages and shading parts of a given percent. Let's start by revising some rules before you watch any video. First, you have to sit in a quiet place. You should have your pen and a piece of paper to take notes and to solve questions. You should pause the video after each question, then you try to answer on your own. Then you play the video to check your answer and to understand the question in case you get a wrong answer. Are you ready? Let's start. Writing shaded fractions as a percent. Look at this grid here. It is divided into 100 small parts, as you can see, and there are number of parts is shaded. If I want to write this shaded part as a percent, so first I have to write it as a fraction. What fraction is it? How to write shaded parts as a fraction? We count the number of shaded parts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 and 9 equals 18. So it will be 18 shaded part over 100 part in total. So the fraction will be 18 over 100. Then we are going to change this fraction into a percent. So if I have 18 over 100, it means 18%. Let's do another example. How many shaded parts here? There are 6 shaded parts. Then the fraction will be 6 over the total number of parts, which is 100. Then the percentage will be 6%. Okay? Now, let's see different questions. Here, the total number of parts is not 100. We are going to follow the same steps exactly. Find the fraction of the shaded part. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 and 6, 12, and over the total number of parts, which is 20. So it will be 12 over 20. Now I need to change this fraction into a percent. And we said in order to change the fraction into a percent, I need the fraction to be over 100. So this 20, I need it to be 100. So a fraction over 100. How to change the 20 to be 100? By multiplying by 5 up and down. This is one of the methods. So 12 times 5 equals 60. So it will be 60 over 100. 20 times 5 equals 100. Then it will be 60%. I can also do it another way by simplifying this fraction into its simplest form. So it will be, what do you think? 3/5. If I divide it up and down by 4, 12 divided by 4 will be 3, and 20 divided by 4 will be 5. And you remember the 3/5 as a percentage from the fraction percent decimal video. So the 3/5 is 60% as well. One more fraction. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is 5 over 20. I can do it exactly the same by simplifying the fraction. It will be 1 over 4 or 1/4. So the 1/4 as a percentage is 25%. Is this clear? I can also do it another way by multiplying up and down by 5 in order to change the denominator here to be 100. 20 times 5 equals 100, and 5 times 5 equals 25. Then the percentage will be 25%. So you can do any of them. Now let's write one more example. We have 2/5 and we want to change it into a percent. And we know that the 1/5 equals 20%. Then the 2/5 equals 40%. Or we can change it into a fraction over 100 by multiplying the 5 by 20 and the 2 by 20 as well. So it will give me 40 over 100, which is 40%. This fraction is 3 parts out of 4 parts, which means 3/4. So how to change the 3/4? I can change the 4 to be 100 by multiplying by 25 up and down, or if I know the fractions from the previous videos, I can say that 3/4 is 75%. So when we multiply by 25, it will give me 75 over 100, which is 75%. Okay, is this clear? So first step, we have to write the shaded parts as a fraction. Then we change the fraction into a fraction over 100. Then we write the percent. So any shaded parts, if I want to write it as a percent, so first write the shaded parts as a fraction, change the fraction into a fraction over 100, then write the percent. Is this clear? Now let's see the opposite. If I want to shade a given percent, for example, the 50%, we know that the 50% means half. So how many parts do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I have 10 parts in total. If I want to shade 50% of them, it means I'm going to shade half of the 10, which means 5 squares will be shaded. So I'm going to shade 5 squares of the 10 squares, as you can see here. All right, and when you shade, please use your pencil and make the parts fully shaded. Now let's see one more example. I want to shade 40%. So first I need to change this 40% into a fraction. What fraction is it? It is 40 over 100, right? 40 over, let's do it here, 40 over 100. So I can simplify it to be, let's divide by 10 up and down, so it will be 4/10 or 2/5. I have here how many parts in total? I have 10 parts in total. So I can shade 4 parts out of 10 parts, or I can shade 2 parts from each 5. So let's do it as 4 out of 10. So in total, I'm going to shade 4 squares, or I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So from this 5, I'm going to shade 2. And from the other 5, I'm going to shade 2 more. So in total, I have 4 squares shaded. So in order to shade a given percent, we can say that step 1, write the percent as a fraction. Step 2, simplify the fraction. Step 3, shade the fraction. Is this clear? Now it's our questions time. Are you ready? Let's start. Write this shaded part as a percent. So what fraction is it? So this fraction is 2 over, yes, 2 over 10. So 2 over 10, to write it as a percentage, I will change it into a fraction over 100. Or if I studied all the famous fractions from the previous videos, I can say it is 20%. The second one, I have 9 shaded parts out of 10. So the fraction will be that 9 over 10, which is 90 over 100, which is 90%. Now, I'm going to shade a given percent. If I want to shade a given percent, we said first to change the percent into a fraction. So I'm going to change it into a fraction in the simplest form. So it will be 3 over 10, which means 3 shaded parts from each 10 parts. I already have 10 parts, then I'm going to shade 3 parts out of the 10 parts. Is this clear? So 3 squares will be shaded at the end. For the second one, I want to shade 60%. And 60% as a fraction is 60 over 100. In the simplest form, I can write it as 3/5 or 6 over 10. I can write it as 6 over 10 or 3/5. So I can shade 6 squares out of the 10 squares, or I can shade 3 from each 5. So at the end, there will be 6 squares shaded, or 6 parts shaded. So we are going to shade 6 parts from the shape. Is it clear? And again, please, when you shade any shape, you have to do it with pencil and make the parts fully shaded.
This is the end of our lesson today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you have any question, please feel free to leave a comment and I will answer you as soon as possible. Please remember that your feedback is highly appreciated. Thank you very much and have a nice day.